Alright, hello people of the internet, and today I have the worst topic you could ever have at the time that you could ever have. It's all of the typeism. Now what I mean by that is right now we have something that's socially acceptable, that if you partake in some kind of group or something, you can just literally maul somebody on the street because you have a certain opinion. And that's not cool. Now that's not even acceptable in a horror movie standpoint at all. It's literally someone getting stabbed by a member of X community or X movement. And it's literally just to have like any of these groups hold the talking stick for a little bit. Right now the best thing I could think of, right, off the top of my head, would be the Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter group, which is a plate or a group of people which to project this image on. You know, it's been happening silently over a long time, and it just recently got way too much attention and way too out of hand for its own good. While the intentions may have started well for both camps, they've been handling their demonstrations and stuff horrible at best. For example, the Black Lives Matter originally started to push more investigation towards fairness in court cases and police brutality towards black individuals. However, these groups took it upon themselves to take over any other movement, gatherings like a Donald Trump rally, I don't know, freeways, and an LGBT community march. And now, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Show up for what you believe in, of course, show up for what you believe in, but the way you actually show a difference between you and these other people or anyone who thinks differently than you is by organizing it. All these people that you go and you show up and you say Black Lives Matter by holding up signs and stuff, if you want to make an actual difference, you will organize your own demonstrations with police support and all the stuff that comes with it. That way, if anything happens, those people are the ones looking foolish. Okay? Now, All Lives Matter was a movement that is really close to the Black Lives Matter camp. It was a movement to shift the conversation away from Black Lives Matter and promote that everyone should have fair treatment in court and while in police custody. And All Lives Matter really just wanted a very simple addition to the Black Lives Matter camp. They were hoping to be in the same group, but somehow it got way worse. The general message that they wanted to invoke to the Black Lives Matter camp was literally, hey, Black Lives Matter, you do realize that there are people that are getting the exact same treatment that you are getting, right? And it was literally the smallest little gesture. They listen, you know, we want to join you guys to make sure that everybody gets the same justice. Everybody gets the same crap because this is stupid, and why should one person or the rich people can get all the high fancy lawyers to get them off the hook, you know, and while we here, or just because of the color of our skin, are seen differently, or us that are in a different socioeconomic class are seen differently, you know. And I believe in both of these arguments. All right, I believe in just do your job and have fair justice for everybody. If they're continual offenders, of course there's going to be differences in crap, but I don't understand how I'm a hypocrite for doing that exact thing I just said. I don't understand, since when does wanting the U.S. justice system to do his job well in and out of the courtroom become hypocritical? I don't know. I just don't know. You know, a topic tied to this is when people are against the police. You know, the servicemenism that has just arisen. That is literally that because they're a cop, they are not a person anymore. They should be treated as a dirty pig. Get out of my face. Don't bother me. And you know, and people are going to say, hey, that is not true. That is not true. There's nobody saying that. Yes, there is. I hang out with kids of the adults that have these mentalities. You guys are poisoning the younger generation and making them think that, hey, the police don't do anything. I have kids, white kids, that have said the police don't do anything. Now that makes my head spin way too fast to even comprehend how that happens, okay? How a little 7-year-old kid has that much of a notion of life. Another topic of discussion will be basically the LGBT community versus the straight populace. While yes, some races it has been seen as taboo, and the standard of those families is basically to conform to those standards given to them at birth, basically saying if you have of female genitalia, you are a female, and male genitalia, you are a male. There have been LGBT community people since the 1960s, okay? There's no getting away from it, okay? There's no getting away from it. Back then, it was seen as a mental disorder. You were literally mentally subnormal if you thought that you were gay or transgender or what have you. Now, nothing that me just ranting away is gonna sway you away from any of your views, so I'm just gonna share my own opinion and let you decide whatever. Frankly, about these people, I could care less. Didn't want to even talk about this because I feel like it's so blasé, but too many people have brought it to my attention. I literally just see you as a person. It does not matter, okay? If you or somebody else just came up to me and said, hey, I'm gay, and I knew you, and we were friends, I'd just be like, so are we still on for bowling then? Because it's your turn to pay. That's how much I care. If you're just a person to me. Now, it's going to get real personal here. I am a Christian male. Now, hate me if you want. It doesn't change who I am. My views are my views, but I feel like I'm a little bit more progressive than some of my other Christian counterparts. However, if me and you are friends, right, and I didn't know that you were gay, and we had agreed to go bowling with a squad, for me, nothing would have changed. You just would have said, hey, I'm gay, and I'd be like, listen, I understand that now. I get where you're coming from. But if you want to be a sore loser because you bowled a 60 last game, be a sore loser, but it's your turn to pay. Now, this last ism I'm going to talk about is a risky one. Feminism versus everybody else. This is a risky one, to say the least, and there are no shortage of radicals in any group, but this one seems to have the most of them. And I understand where it comes from, but why did it evolve in a really bad show? This movement is something I supported, and then it went weird. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, it started a little bit like the Black Lives Matter movement. With good intentions, feminism was all about equal hours and fair wages for everybody. Doesn't matter who you are, fair wages. You know, the same wage. If you weigh 750, 750 at the same time. But out of nowhere, the radicals came in, and they started complaining that the world and work and everybody is run by dicks, and if you have one, you should be killed in order to preserve the sanctity of the workplace. Now, if you think I'm joking, then you have not been on the internet long, in which case, hello all you senior citizens out there. Now, it's ridiculous to say the least, but if I, right, tried to take a strapping young lass down to maybe get some dinner at like a Chili's, or even beforehand play some mini golf or some Call of Duty to rile up an appetite, I can be seen as sexist. Okay? It's weird to say the least. I understand that feminists that are all about breaking traditional mentalities and traditional molds, but if you ask a bunch of them that if a women should pay on the first date, the majority of them will say no. And then this is where it gets weird. Some of these that are of the extremist group will use circular logic and reasoning to basically saying, why are you asking this question? Why does it matter to you? You're just a guy, okay? You should always be paying for the first date. How incredibly sexist of you for even insinuating that women should pay. Huh? First of all, way in the first place, this makes you seem like you're just speaking nonsense, because we just asked that sheer curiosity just to make sure that you weren't some weirdo and you had a brain and you could talk like a human and an adult. And now I don't believe a single word you're saying, so I'm going to go to somebody else now. I'm going to believe anybody else but you. And then you don't even help your cause, because now you're seen as this crazy person that couldn't even shine a good light in the direction you were trying to head. Now, all the contrasts that I said today by no means are the last contrasts that exist, but these are the ones that I have seen that have grown over all of the other ones. And I'm just going to end the discussion here. Let it be up to whoever's in the comments, whoever's watching this. I wanted to know what your stance is on any of these topics. Be mindful that I've already explained my position. You're not going to change who I am by trying to yell at me in the comments section. But I will try to be compassionate and understanding of where you come from. However, that being said, if you like the discussion, love me and I'll love you back, because I will see you guys next time.